My name is Samaya Supremacy, and as y'all can see, I done drove up the mountain that Sheila drove up to get her man to film this video. So I'm gonna need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, and share if y'all watching on the TikTok app. This is my show, I and I, where I talk about the things that I have learned along my emotional and spiritual journey as a singer, as a songwriter, as an artist. Y'all know the drill. Roll the intro. It's and I created my world. Lord. Okay, as y'all know, I gotta show off my outfit every single time. Every single time. But let me take a sip of my drink because I'm very parched. And I is tired and I need a little sippy sip of a drink. Hold on. I really shouldn't move the camera because I spend so much time just trying to set up already. But yeah. Let me fit. That's my outfit. I'm tired. When I tell you guys that it's hot outside, I'm not kidding. I am roasting like, I would say like a pig, but it never gave pig. More like a um, golden brown turkey roasting in the oven. That is the Florida sun. Anyway, what I have learned is that trusting yourself is really difficult, and that choosing yourself is difficult, especially if you're not taught to do that. I was raised in a home where I feel like I was constantly being criticized, constantly being told what to do. So to make such a stark change and choose to do my songwriting and choose to use my voice and choose to express myself is so different from what I am used to doing. I'm used to hiding, and starting this whole journey with social media and music and art hasn't been the beginning of my unmasking and the beginning of me returning to myself. With that being said, doing all those things is difficult because I have to have trust in myself and in God that this is the path and this is what's for me, and trust in that and commit to it and keep showing up even though it's uncomfortable, and even though I'm not the financial success hasn't manifested itself as of this moment in time. It's like I have to show up for myself even though there are no results, and even though everything else outside of me is telling me that I should go the other direction in terms of just picking up quote unquote. Oh my god, that airplane is interrupting me. Where is it? I can't even look up right now because it's too hot. It's too hot, y'all. But back to what I was saying. Everything else is telling me that I shouldn't, in the sense of my parents or other people that I used to surround myself around, or just certain patterns that I've learned to keep me safe. It's like the external factors sort of tell me that this is something I shouldn't do. This is not a safe choice. It's like I'm not used to having a space where it's safe for my inner child to create. So to break out of that is such a big thing for me, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. I'm proud of myself for trusting myself to go along this journey. I'm proud of myself for sharing it as it is, not in its perfection, not making it super perfect. You know, it's like sometimes I'll film a video, and when I film it, I'm like, oh my god, maybe I should have done it this way. Maybe I should have done it that way. Maybe I should have done it this way. It's like I used to have this feeling of never doing the right thing or being at the right place at the right time, and this perfectionist mindset. But as I go along this journey of trusting myself and choosing my art and choosing to sing, I'm learning to let go and just be in the moment. And I've sort of realized that this whole perfection of doing the right thing doesn't even exist. Like, perfection doesn't even exist for real. And all there is the moment. And all there is, your life. And that I have the choice to do what I want with my life. And that's such a surprising realization that I can choose what I want for myself, and I can choose myself and the things that I want, even if it's uncomfortable, even if other people shame me for it, even if my parents think it's stupid. I don't think they think that it's stupid, but I think it's like, they would rather me be a nurse or something. Oh my god, there's a bug. And you know what? Sometimes I am envious of people who are pursuing more, you know, normal career paths. I would say like nursing, or being like a lawyer, or being some sort of corporate professional. It's because they have a set track. It seems like, yes, they might have their difficulties themselves, but they have a set track. They know I go to this school, then I go to that school, and then I start my career. There's like a path for you. But as an artist, I feel like you have to figure out your own way, especially in this climate where everything is like new and different. We have all this new technology, and then in the entertainment field, we have all this like perversion going on. So me as a young woman, I have to figure out how to navigate through all those things, and it's a lot to trust myself, to surrender, to navigate to that, and it's a lot to surrender to this path that God has given to me. When I was a little girl, I used to listen to music, and I would think about the writers and the people that wrote the song, and I was like, I thought it was so amazing that they had written something like this, and I thought to myself, like, God would never give me a gift of being able to write like that, or being able to do that, and now I can do that. I swear, like, in quiet moments, in peaceful moments like this, songs just come to me. I know that this is for me, and I know that this is what I want. But it is difficult to surrender to that. And in spaces like this where I make these videos, I gain the confidence to keep going. I'm not in a space where I've released anything, but I do want to put out a snippet in my way. I put out a snippet before, but I took it down because in that, snippet that I had released on TikTok, you could see, oh my god, my mom is calling me. Hold on, y'all. I know it's my mom, because who else would it be? Who else would it be, huh? Hold on. Okay. Whew. She's a real peach. Hold on. She's a real peach. I said peach, by the way. Anyway, I literally forgot where I was, because that call threw me out of alignment a little bit. So let me get myself back on track. Okay, so I was finding it, but now I have found it. Okay, so I have released a snippet of me singing on TikTok, but even in that clip, I was so reluctant to actually sing and speak. And in the video, I was literally like this, because I was so reluctant to do it. It feels like there is this delay for me, and there's this video that came up on my TikTok feed again that was talking about that delay is protecting you until you are ready to like emerge and show up. And this space, these videos give me the confidence to do that, because in them I reaffirm who I am and remind myself of why I'm doing this in the first place. In choosing myself, I have given like the inner child the space to create, the space to relearn myself, and that takes time. A lot of time. And then sometimes with these videos, I'm like, I low-key think to myself, if I'm being transparent, There go the airplane again. I'm thinking to myself, does anybody really care about my journey? Because I'm just some random 20-year-old girl, 20-year-old Jamaican girl from Florida that's singing. Like, I just really don't know that anybody cares, and I find myself wanting to center my content around the watcher. Girl, I don't know. I'm waiting till the plane passes. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of sound going on. Whew. I feel like I'm melting out here. Like, damn. Like, I'm melting like candy, like caramel candy out here in the sun. But as I document my journey and the things that I'm learning, I find myself questioning myself in the sense, does anyone care about my journey? And should I center my content around the watcher or the viewer and center the people watching instead of myself? And I realized that that is not the answer. I'm building this platform to give myself a voice because I spent years of my life, Lord, I spent years of my life not speaking. So this channel is to just give myself a voice, and hopefully in being authentic, I can make other people feel seen and heard. I had this thought in the back of my mind of like, I'm just some like 20-year-old girl, Jamaican girl from Florida who's singing and songwriting and going on this spiritual journey of choosing herself. I don't know that people would care about that, but I think people will care. And I think people will be able to find parts of themselves in me because there's nothing that I'm going through that is particularly special. We all struggle with choosing ourselves, and this space is where I'm opening up about how I'm choosing myself in my artistry, but I feel that that can be applied to all different spheres of life. Anyway, I really went off on a tangent. This video I feel like was very much so like a vibe video. Catch a vibe, catch a feeling, like just be chill with me on the mountaintop with Sheila and God. I know I said last week that I was going to apply to some like music studios to intern at, but I haven't just because I feel like, again, that procrastination and delay thing. I'm not feeling safe to do certain things, but also I don't know if it's safe for me to be like a young girl interning at a music studio, so I don't know. But my next goal is to actually put out a snippet of a song that I am proud of on my TikTok and share it with you guys, because that would mean the world to me. That would be a very big thing to me. Yeah. Like I said, I already put one out, but I was very reluctant in that video, and I want to go into it with the warmth and joy of creating, which is another thing that I really forgot to mention in this video, is that choosing yourself is hard, but the more you do it and the more you show up for yourself, you realize that this is something that you wanted. This is something that you like to do, and you have sort of turned yourself. And we're so used to not treating our own selves with priority and with care, and we see the things that we want to do for ourselves as an obligation. But the more I have showed up for myself, the more I have realized that it is a joy to create. It is a joy to be alive. It is a joy that I'm here. It is a joy that I get to be an artist. It is a joy that I get to share my experiences with others. It's not like an obligation of like, oh, I have to share a YouTube video, or oh, I set this goal of releasing a snippet of a song, I gotta do this. I get to share a snippet of the song. I get to turn on my camera and share my experiences, and that's a beautiful thing. And I thank you guys for sharing in this experience with me Sheila and the Lord on this mountaintop today. Don't be trying to clock my tea and say it's a hill because I'm not in the mood for y'all. Catch the vibe, like, share, subscribe. Don't play on my top like that. Don't play. I don't like when they saying like don't play on my top. Like, what do they mean by that? But all I know is like don't do it to me. Don't play on mine. So like, share, subscribe, follow if you're watching on TikTok. And like smooches. Guess what? I didn't curse in this video. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of me.